Here's the other orchid. This is 3 weeks into growing the flower stem. Right here. It's pretty long. It seems to be growing about this much, maybe an inch every week is what it seems like it's doing, or yeah, an inch every week. So I'm really impressed with how quickly that's growing. I'm gonna have to look up some information and find out what caused the flower stem growth, because for years I waited for this one to grow another flower stem. I regret cutting the other one off. Somebody had said after it was done blooming to just cut the flower stem off. So that's what I did. I'm not doing that again. I'm just going to allow for it to keep growing like I did with my other orchid, because now that one has secondary flower stems growing off of it. And let's see, I've had this since 2012. Yeah, 2012. And I mean, it's been overall healthy, aside from just not having any flower stems on it. I mean, the aerial roots grew so long that I had to bend them over and put them back toward the bark. Actually, these flower stems, they're meant to grow longer and wrap around trees. That's what they do out in nature. So, you know what I'm thinking about maybe eventually doing is maybe grow a tree indoors, like some kind of tree with bark. I don't know, a maple or something. I already have some maples started. I might actually just bring one indoors and try to take one of my orchids, or maybe get another orchid, get like a new orchid, because I don't want to take this one from 2012 and then my other one I've had for like 3 or 4 years that continuously blooms. Like, I don't think I want to take these two and experiment with them, because I've had them for quite a while. I think what I want to do is get maybe a new orchid, bring in one of the maples that I have in one of my outdoor pots on the balcony, and see about wrapping these aerial roots around the tree and have some kind of dynamic going on there and see what happens. I think that would be an interesting thing to do. I don't know. I'll have to look into some kind of trees. Maybe I don't want to use the maples. Maybe I want to get some other kind of tree, like a cherry tree or something, which I know I'll have to probably get grow lights then for that. But anyways, it's just an idea I'm kicking around. So, anyways, back to this. I've been giving both the orchids tea and banana peel water, and it seems to be giving them more nutrients, which I think is what they needed for the flowers and the leaves. The leaves on this one have always been strong. I've never had an issue with the leaves on this one ever. But the other one that I got in 2012, it just wasn't as healthy as this one. I don't know. But then I didn't know anything about orchids at all. So I've learned quite a bit since then, like what kind of nutrients they need, and, you know, lighting and the watering process and everything. So it makes a difference when you inform yourself as to what your plants need. Anyways, that's where we're at with this. I can't wait until these blooms open up. Well, actually, the flower stem, I don't know how much longer it has to grow before it'll actually start blooming. I'm just so fascinated with how quickly the flower stem grows. Once it decides to grow, it's like, you're not stopping me. I am out of here. I'm going to keep on keeping on. So, I hope it's the tannin pink one, but if it's another light colored pink one, that's fine too. I don't care, as long as the plant is healthy and we're getting another flower stem. So see how these roots, I have the ice sitting on it. See how these roots look different when they're wet? They kind of have like a silvery green when they're not wet, and then they're like a brownish, greenish color when they are wet. See the difference? The tip is almost always wet, so that's like that color green. And this is what they look like when they're dry, like that silvery green. And then up here, you can see where it's like the brownish, greenish. See the difference right here? They're supposed to look like that. Now when I bent this over, I regret damaging it a little bit right here. See where it's split? But this outer part is a protector of the root, so it should be okay. What I keep doing is putting the tea and the banana water in this little crack. I'm trying to heal that. I don't know if it'll heal that or not. I'm going to have to do a little bit of research, but that's the idea anyways, and it seems to be doing okay. And I did find out that these aerial roots can grow out of any part of your orchid, but the flower stem, say this is the front of your orchid. Okay, what I was saying before the shut off was, see how this is basically the front of your orchid, where it's wider? You turn it to the side, that's the side of your orchid. Okay, so like the front or back would be where the leaves are coming out from the center. Alright, these aerial roots can grow out from any place on your orchid down below. I don't know if you can see that. They can grow out from between the leaves, or out from the front or the back, wherever. But the flower stem can only grow from underneath the leaf. And that's white down in there because of the ice and because I gave it powdered eggshell that I had made. So anyways, the flower stem is always going to come from underneath the leaf. So if you don't have any flower stems on yours and you're like, oh, where's my flower stem? And then you're wondering if one of these aerial roots is a flower stem. No, if it's growing out from the front or the back, it's definitely not one. And it's always going to be, if you have, like, see your leaves, it's always going to be at least 2 leaves. It's going to grow at least 2 leaves down from the top of your plant, at least. That's just the growing, that's just where they grow. And another thing, the end of the flower stem is going to look different than the end of the root. The aerial root is going to be more pointed and round. The flower stem is going to be more, have more contour on the end. It's going to look different. See, you can see how it looks different. I can't get that to zoom in, but you can see the difference. Even when they're small, they look different. Because a couple years ago, I thought, oh, yay, I'm getting a flower stem. Because I didn't know that the end of it was going to look different initially when it started growing. And I didn't realize that they were only going to grow from the side of the plant, never from the front or back. And underneath at least 2 leaves down. Like, I didn't realize all of that until recently. So I was always disappointed. I mean, not really disappointed that I was getting more area roots, but just disappointed because it wasn't a new flower stem. I was like, no, when's this baby gonna grow a flower stem? So that's where we are with this bad boy. Girl, I don't even know. I'm impressed. This is 3 weeks into the flower stem growing. I've only done 2 videos of it, but this is 3 weeks into it growing. That's impressive, I think. Kudos to you, plant.